Hey everybody. I know a lot of people are, a lot of people close to us or around our area are probably enjoying Horror Hound right now. So I don't expect that crew to be in here tonight. I unfortunately was not able to get tickets for Saturday, so I'm going tomorrow. So hence me doing a watch along for Silence of the Lambs tonight. And I hope everybody can hear me and see me okay. Um, I'm uh, I'm not really tired or anything. I may have to get some ibuprofen. I've got a slight headache, but that's probably due to sinuses and allergies. Hey, Blissful. And Jay said he might join me here in a little bit. I'm actually going to give him a thumbs up on that. Um, he was not able to find his copy of the disc of the film. So I do have a link to Daily Motion that they have it on there. It appears to be a pretty good copy. I can't really say whether there are commercials in there. There are ads at the beginning. I just kind of skimmed through it to see if the whole movie was on there. So the ads may just be at the beginning, which won't be too bad. Um, oh, great. Um, this movie went on and got started, is what it did. So I'm going to try to get mine queued up so I can tell you guys where we need to start at. Hopefully, everybody can get synced up pretty well. What in the world are you doing, Steve? Why are you calling me with the fork? I don't know what he's doing, but I'll have it queued up here in just a second. Here. Okay. So I've got it where the Orion logo is showing up on my Criterion Blu-ray. That's about 46 seconds in. Um, Blissful says, "Hi, Ninja Steve." I hope you can hear him say hello, Blissful. He's back in the kitchen again now. So now we got about 5 people in here. So again, the movie is The Silence of the Lambs, minus the Criterion release. I also have a 4K release, but I'm not able to watch a 4K back here. So I'm watching my Blu ray. And hey, Batman. And like I said, I might have to get up at some point and take some ibuprofen for what appears to be a sinus or allergy headache, related headache. Not a bad one, just I'm adjusting that. I had my webcam adjusted. I was doing commercials last night, and I got on a roll and made like 3 commercials, one right after the other. And I was like, Blissful knows because I know I sent her a couple of them. There was one that I wasn't able to send through Messenger to people, and that one was a little over a minute long, and evidently that was too long or too large for Messenger. But tomorrow I will be doing Grace of My Heart, no movie munchies, because I will either be at Horror Hound still or me and Steve will be out on the road coming back home. Hence me not being able to do a movie munchies. But never fear, there will be a watch along for Grace of My Heart tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That is this movie here. Great little musical movie starring Ileana Douglas, Matt Dillon, Eric Stoltz, and John Turturro. This is directed by Allison Anders. It's a very, very cool film it was a blind rental for me many, many moons ago. And it has always been described as a Carole King type of singer, songwriter. Um, what she wants to be is she wants to write her own songs and sing them. But when she starts out, they want her to write songs for other people. So she spends a good portion of her career doing just that. So very good little film. I love Ileana Douglas in it. She is fantastic. Well, we'll enjoy all of that tomorrow night. Um, Plus, I will be filling y'all in on the fun, the insanity that is Horror Hound weekend, or at least Sunday for me. Um, so, good news on the Booga Booga Bears front. I just made $100. So, two Booga Booga Bears. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Jay. Your Booga Booga Bears will be sent in the mail probably no later than Tuesday of this coming week, because I got everything out, got the designs printed out, got the lettering mirrored on there because you have to do that for the sublimation transfer paper. Plugged in the heat press and made sure that it would heat up properly. It does. Truth be told, I should have already done that a long time ago and did not. Um, but everything checks out, knock on wood, and hopefully things will continue to go smoothly. Kathy tells me that the payment system um, went smoothly, and I have received her money. Well, actually, Stripe.com has received the money, and they're going to be sending it to my bank account. And when you do your first one, there's a little delay in you getting your payout, but only 7 days, so it's not a big deal. But I will. What I can do for those of you that have not seen the commercials, before we get started here, I can show off these new commercials that I created for Midday with Dana and Jay, the TMI show, and also Quint's Handcrafted Chum Cocktails. So give me just a second here, and I'm going to bring those up. Hold on one sec here. Hopefully you guys won't hear these things before I get ready to show them. So let's, oops, that's not what I want. I want to share my screen. All right. So let's do this. We all ready? Here we go.
Slow ahead. I can go slow ahead. Come down here and drink some of this shit. Chum cocktail.
Quint's Handcrafted Chum Cocktails. Stock up before your next shark hunting adventure.
All right. So that was the handcrafted chum cocktails. Let's do. Here's the TMI.
Just what are people saying about the TMI show?
All right.
Want to hear something juicy?
Something spicy?
Then tune in to TMI with Dana and Jay, where things get wild.
You may giggle.
You may blush, but you won't regret it.
I haven't been the same since I watched TMI 1 with Dana and Jay. It's just, I can't deal with it. It was so cool. And I hear that there's a TMI 2. Y'all need to stay tuned out and watch some stuff with Dana. All right? Evil Dead Chick's got it going on.
The TMI show was about exposing myself. It was about stripping myself bare. It was about giving till it hurts. Ah!
Okay, and we got one more, guys and gals, for Midday with Dana and Jay. Hello, my name is Dana, and I am one half of the Midday with Dana and Jay team. I'm pretty much the straight man or straight woman. But here's Jay. He's more fun than I am.
Why did Mickey Mouse divorce Minnie Mouse? Because she's fucking goofy. Find out things like that and more on Midday with Dana and Jay, 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central. I might get naked. Hell, I'll probably get naked. Don't you miss it.
All right, just a little show and tell for you folks that make it in here early because you never know what I'm going to talk about, right? Hey, Kathy. And so we got a pretty good crew in here. I'm probably going to go ahead and get started here in just a little bit. I'll give everybody a couple more minutes to get queued up if you're going to be watching along with me tonight for Silence of the Lambs. Again, I am on the screen that has the Orion logo. If you do happen to be watching the Criterion release of this on either DVD or Blu-ray, I'm 46 seconds in. But if you want to get queued up to the Orion logo, you can do so. And in about 7:15 or a quarter after, we will start this thing because Silence of the Lambs is not a short movie. I think it's going to go fast just because it's that good of a movie. But it is about an hour and 58 minutes long. Thank you, Kathy. Kathy says all the commercials are excellent. I worked on those, knocked those out last night because I'm just like that. I like to do things late at night and stuff. Sometimes that's when my creativity gets going and all of that. So if you didn't get sent any of the commercials by me, hop on over to the Deadites on Deck channel and you can check those commercials out. I'm going to be using those commercials in a variety of ways to fill in dead space when I'm doing the movie munchies, like when I'm baking something or got to put something in the refrigerator or freezer for so long. I will go back, take that dead space out, replace it with a commercial. When the commercial's over, it'll go right back into the movie munchies. I will also be utilizing these commercials at the end of streams. In fact, I may pick one to play. I know I've already played it for you guys and gals that are in here. But I may want to play one again at the end of this. So let's see what we might do here at the end. Let's just do the hello. I'm not going to play it right now, but I will play it at the end. Kathy, you watched Hannibal last night. Not a bad movie. Yeah, Hannibal's not bad. I prefer Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the Lambs is my favorite. But yeah, Hannibal. Now, are you talking about Hannibal the movie or like Hannibal the show that was on? Because I almost forgot there was a show. Oh, you said movie. Never mind. I'm still, my brain is just so scared. Y'all can't pay any attention to me. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. And I'm going to do the countdown, and then we're going to get Silence of the Lambs started here. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Press play. We've got an Orion Pictures release. And we're opening up on the shot of well, it's soon going to be a shot of Jodie Foster's character of Clarice, who is training. I guess she's training to be, or is just become an FBI agent, and she's soon going to be embroiled in one hell of a case here. This film, although the subject matter is very, very dark, is a beautifully shot film, though. And good old Ted Levine. I've told my story more than once of when I was in the hospital. I heard a guy that sounded like Ted Levine as Buffalo Bill in this movie. It was creepy and intriguing at the same time. Oh, I forgot Roger Corman is in this too. Chris Isaac's also in here. There's a lot of people that and I watched this not very long ago, but I just, totally forgot. So Clarice is getting summoned to Crawford's office. And so at this point, the audience, especially um, people that had never seen the movie or anything, maybe thinking, is she going to get in trouble? Is she going to be assigned to a case, or what's going to happen here? Batman, you say I read last night that Jake Gyllenhaal wants to be Batman in the DCU, and I was like, no, no, no. Exactly. I'm getting so sick of seeing him with the open shirt for the new Roadhouse. Ugh. Show of hands, how many people have read the book Silence of the Lambs by Thomas Harris? I did, but it's been a long, long time ago. And this here is just, you know, shows you there are several scenes that actually that show you how this is a man's world, really. You see women in here, but the FBI is populated, it's by men for the most part. And so Clarice has to constantly make her importance to this department known. She has to prove herself over and over and over again. Liz, you say you have it on your to be read list. And of course, Jonathan Demme, he did a excellent job with this film as well. So we're seeing the Buffalo Bill case, the pictures on the wall, the newspaper clippings on the wall. So he's telling her, an interesting errand. First, he says a job's come up, and then he says more of an interesting errand. So you get the feeling that he's being polite, but he doesn't really take her seriously either. To a certain point he does, but not 100%. But he is reading off her accolades, though, basically. Then he asked her, "Do you spook easily, Starling?" She said, "Not yet." So they're going to want her to go see old Hannibal Lecter, played expertly, as we're going to soon see, by Anthony Hopkins. This movie's in your top 5, Blissful. I think it'd be up there for me too. This is a really, really well made film. And also, thank you, Blissful. Blissful says, please hit the thumbs up. Thank you. So she's getting the dossier or however you pronounce it, for Hannibal Lecter. So she's been given her orders. So he's telling her, be careful with Hannibal Lecter. Do not deviate from the instructions whatsoever. And she's not to tell Lecter anything personal about herself. So we're going to come up to the quid pro quo thing. Basically, I tell you something, and then you'll tell me something. It's like a push and pull, give and take little thing. This guy, I think he's sleazy. I can just look at him and tell that he's like, one of those womanizing, sleazy types. Hey, Blair. I don't know, Blair. Anthony Hopkins is Hannibal Lecter to me, although the guy that played him in the show was pretty good as well. Oh, that's interesting, Blair. Willem Dafoe. So he's telling her, don't touch the glass, don't approach the glass. You pass him nothing but soft paper, no staples or sharp pencils or anything. And if he attempts to pass you anything, don't take it. So then he tells her a story about Hector, uh, can't talk, Hannibal Lecter, saying that he had chest pains and the nurse came in and they had to reset her jaw and all kinds of stuff. And he ate her tongue too. So yeah, Batman. It's been so long since I've seen Manhunter. I'd have to go back and watch that. Blair, you say I saw Late Night with the Devil today. It was amazing. I'm gonna have to check that out, Blair. Hey, X-Ray. X-Ray says, we woke up to Buffalo Bill's mirror dance yet? That's my favorite scene. No, we're just getting started, X-Ray. So that's gonna be a little bit later. So she has finally reached Hannibal Lecter's cell here. There's Anthony Hopkins looking suitably creepy there. And it's so eerie how he knows, he says, "You're one of Crawford's, aren't you?" And he's, asking to see her badge. And he's wanting her to get closer. And remember, they told her, don't get up to the glass. Blissful, you say, I woke up to ice on everything outside and there's so much snow. I think it's going to be around 59 or 60 here tomorrow. It may be a little chillier because we're going to go up north to Horror Hound. That's what Blissful kept telling me last night. It's spring, it's spring, but we're getting snow and ice and stuff. Um, yes, actually, Blair, there is. I've already met Sam and Ted Raimi, but I'm getting my picture taken with them and their brother Ivan tomorrow. Um, Also, I want to meet William Catt. That's the other person I want to go up and actually meet because I've never met him, but I hear he's really nice. So I will be reporting back on all the events from Horror Hound. Hopefully, there won't be too much insanity attached to my Horror Hound trip. I'm hoping everything goes smoothly. I'm supposed to hopefully be seeing Candace and Chris and their son at some point. Me and Steve are gonna walk around, look at the vendors and stuff like that. Hopefully, it being a Sunday, maybe there won't be any insanely long lines. I'm hoping anyway. So maybe I can go right up to William Cat and meet him. Hey, Russell. X-Ray said the book and movie have very minor differences. I seem to recall it ending with Starling going on a date with one of the bug experts. The movie has a better ending overall. Yeah, it seems like I remember something like that in the book too, X-Ray. So while she's having this discussion with Hannibal Lecter, I'm going to go grab some medicine for my head real quick, and I will be right back, gang. Sorry, guys. I'll be right back. I'm gonna plug in the heater because I'm kind of chilly back here. Oh, let's see. Russell, you say got a big snowstorm yesterday, and today hardly any snow left. Blair says, if you all could meet one horror movie person, who would you meet? Mine is Warwick Davis. Well, I'm getting down to the last few people that are on my bucket list. And so I think Dario Argento would be mine. I don't know that I'll ever get to do that, but Blitzel says, Russell, we're still getting snow, but after tomorrow it's getting warmer. Russell says Joe Spinell if he was still alive. That's a good one, Russell. X-Ray, you say, I would love to meet the Puerto Rican midget from Bloodsucking Freaks, but he's been dead. Met his son once at this haunted house downtown. That's interesting. But we're going back in Clarissa's past there. And we're seeing that Clarice, we're going to see more about her past when she was a little girl and stuff. But now we're seeing Clarice training again. We're seeing another woman. I believe I think it's Cassie Lemons, and you see the looks they're getting from the guys there. I believe that's the woman that is Virginia Madsen's friend on Candyman. Blissful says same, Argento. Batman, you say, I would love to meet all of them, but when they get down here in Tennessee where I am, I'm either broke or working, and they're extremely expensive too. Yeah. Hey, Gory Tiger. So I believe Clarice is checking out a storage unit. Now, there is no way I could do what she's just doing now because I'm so claustrophobic. Batman, you say one that I wanted to meet was Bill Paxton, and I learned that he passed away up at work on break. Yeah, that crushed me when Bill Paxton died. Um, that was that was a shock, really. I believe he didn't he go in for some kind of procedure or something, and I'm not sure if the procedure went awry or it was something after the procedure or what. I can't recall at this point. There's lots of great imagery in this movie as well because we just seen a headless mannequin in this car. Maybe it was a garage she was getting into. But she's found a head in a big old jar. Okay, I mean, you say he underwent an emergency second surgery to repair a damaged coronary artery. His condition deteriorated over the following 10 days and he died of a stroke. That's just a shame. Too young. Yeah, exactly, Blissful. You say it makes me wonder how many secrets are in storage units. And God bless Jay. He is here now, so I'm going to go ahead and add Jay real quick here. Hey, Jay.
Hey, Dana. I'm not even going to try to cue up this movie. I'll just hang back and just because I've seen the movie 1,000 times, so I know this
Okay.
movie.
Well, I can't tell you where we're at. She's sitting outside of Lecter's cell talking to him. Now, I think this is like the second time she's talking to him. Um,
Well, I'm wearing the Batman stuff. I'm wearing.
yeah.
I got to be careful though because they're tied, and in the groin area, it's rather revealing. If I, uh, so I got to be careful. But yep, very comfortable though. Um,
You look like you're comfortable.
uh, yeah, someone shot a president over Jodie Foster. Um,
Yeah. Yes, they did. Was that Reagan that got shot?
yeah. What was his assistant got shot in the head?
Oh, that guy. His last name was Brady, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
and it damaged his brain. He kind of talked, with a lisp or something like that after that. It did some
Mhm.
brain damage. All over Jodie Foster. Oh,
I'm sure Jodie Foster was thrilled about that.
oh, I think it's mainly from Taxi Driver is that
Yeah, exactly.
that got him hooked on Jodie Foster, and he wrote a bunch of letters to him. I think you can find them online. Those letters he wrote to her. Uh,
So Lecter's trying to get Clarissa's goat here. Basically, he's talking about sexual stuff and things like that. I think I think Anthony Hopkins is just fantastic as Hannibal Lecter. What do you think of his performance?
Oh
Joe?
yeah, well it's very iconic, I guess you would say. And the stuff he says, and just the way he delivers lines and stuff, and that. You know.
Yeah.
I wonder if something like that was improvised. That business.
It could have been. I'm trying to remember if I've seen an interview or anything that might have pointed towards that.
Uh, but yeah, when that came out, of course I'd seen, of course Magic,
Mhm.
he's really good in that, and seen a few films with him, but him as Hannibal Lecter just completely changed the game, of his uh, what he was able to do with Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, there are humongous differences between Hannibal Lecter and the Corky character from Magic, but I think again Anthony Hopkins is one of those very versatile actors where he can play. I hate to say it this way, but different levels of crazy
Yeah,
that he can play.
yeah, yeah.
Now here is the girl that's gonna kind of sort of become a victim of Buffalo Bill. She's singing in her car, and I think she's singing American Girl, the song American Girl here. Um, and Buffalo Bill is looking for his next victim. And I'm not trying to be offensive. This is mentioned in the movie. He looks for girls that are slightly, or women that are slightly overweight.
She a big fat person.
Right.
Ted Levine always talked like he had a mouthful of food. And like he was trying to talk through a mouthful of food. That's why in all the characters he played, like what was it? And Joyride. What is that?
Rusty Nail.
Rusty Nail. Yeah,
Yeah.
very very distinctive voice. But always to me, always sounds like he's chewing on something.
And he was in the. I had forgotten that he was in the Mangler, but he's like the cop in Mangler.
Yeah.
So this is where Buffalo Bill's doing his old Ted Bundy routine, as I like to call it, because he's acting like he's injured for some reason. He can't get this big. He's got the cast on. He can't get this chair in his vehicle. He needs this woman to help him, supposedly. And anybody that's done their research on serial killers and stuff like that will know that Ted Bundy did that a lot. He would put on a fake cast. He would say, "Hey, can you help me? Get this boat or whatever on top of my VW bug." And the next thing you know, they found the women dead. But they lured them in. And he's saying, "Hey, say, are you about a size 14?" And she says, "Sorry." And then he just gives everything a shove and knocks her out. Now he's gonna, take her to his house and put her down in I guess it's like a well that he puts her in. So he's actually checking her size. She is indeed a size 14 because he's looking at the tag on her shirt.
And what's his intention is to pretty much make a woman suit
Yeah.
out of the skin. Because I guess he wants to be a woman. And that's his way of doing it.
Yeah.
Um,
A very sadistic way of doing it, but yeah.
I don't know that if you like a Family Guy, it's been a while since I've watched Family Guy, but
I watched that episode.
but also you know what I'm talking about. But also the character of Chris, Seth Green said the way he came up with the voice, he was doing Ted Levine. That was his impression of Ted Levine.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how he came up with the voice of Chris.
That is interesting.
So if you hear, whenever you watch Family Guy now, you'll kind of hear some Ted Levine when you hear him talk.
So she's Clarissa's having to go down to West Virginia because they found a body in the water, and I think they said it looks like it'd been there about a week, but there's no evidence of rape. All the mutilation is post mortem.
When is this damn March Madness bullshit going to be done? There's nothing on TV but basketball.
I would hope that it'd be over by the end of March, but you never know, Jay.
Good
You never
Lord.
know with this insanity.
Ugh.
Hey, there's Kentucky on the map. I've forgotten that. Because we're real close to West Virginia, of course. The state of Kentucky is. Especially where in the area where the Dead Pit Boys are at.
What time are you leaving for the show tomorrow?
Well, Steve tells me I have to get up at 7 a.m. So I'm going to have to get me some sleep tonight. No playing around on the computer much after this this watch along is over. I think it's going to take us, 2.5 hours to get to Cincinnati. And then I can't get my picture taken with the Ramey brothers until 1:30. So we're probably going to, when we can get into the convention hall, which is usually about, 10-ish Eastern time. And we'll probably go in there. I'll look and see if I can find William Catt. If William Catt doesn't have a heck of a long line at that point in time, I might just go up and go ahead and meet him and get his autograph. And then I guess me and Steve, until it's time for the photo op, we'll walk around, look at the vendors, and see if there's anything we can waste our money on, as far as movies or T-shirts or something.
What's William Catt charging?
I know it's $70 for a photo op. I'm not getting a photo op with him. So I'm not sure about the autograph. I'm gonna check with Candace on that because her and Chris are already there. So I'm gonna ask her if she knows how much his autograph's gonna be.
I hung out with him in the bar when he was drunk.
Mhm.
I didn't. I'm sorry I didn't get his autograph or get a picture with him because he was real cool. But that was back in the good old $20 days.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
You got the picture, you got the autograph, $20.
And then sometimes, if you were lucky, you got them for free, depending on who you ended up seeing.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you this, Jay, because you're the only male that's on the live stream with me, so I get to hit you up for these questions. But what do you think of how the men, in particular in this scene with the sheriff in West Virginia, in this Clay County, West Virginia, how do you think the men treat Clarice in this?
Well, they treat her like an underling, and there's a part in the movie where she brings that up to one of them and says, "Look, the way you're talking to me, and she goes, oh, don't worry about it. No, sir, it matters. It matters the way you talk to me in public or whatever." I forget exactly what the dialogue is, but she brings that up, the way she's talked to like less than, like an underling, like,
Right.
That she's not equal. And she brings that up to one of them and says, look, you shouldn't talk to me that way, particularly in public.
Right.
Because and I think and she said, oh, don't worry about that. No, it matters, sir. You know.
I did not like what Crawford, her superior, told her at the beginning when he said, I got a job has come up. And then he said, well, not a job, a little errand. And
Yeah.
I was like, you're, come on, don't be an ass.
Yeah.
Uh, and so the sheriff and his deputies um, are looking her up and down like they're sizing her up. Not like they're wanting to feel her up, but they're sizing her up. Oh God, why'd they bring this woman here? That was the vibe I got from that.
Well, and that's the main thing is that she's a woman, and that's the way she's treated automatically as like an underling because she's female. Uh, you know.
And there's a lot of trauma in her background because we keep seeing these flashbacks to when her father died and what happened after that. So she's trying to get these men in the room to listen to her, and she's having a really hard time.
How would you qualify the way Hannibal Lecter treats her? Like kind of
I
in a
think
way, kind of
I
like
think in his own creepy way he treats her as an equal.
yeah.
But it's the Hannibal Lecter way, so it's kind of off. It's kind of creepy.
Well, it's like his first he's sort of feeling her out and seeing, what can he penetrate, mentally with her, and
Mhm.
she is pretty strong, stands up for herself, and so he's like, oh well, okay, you're
Mhm.
better than I thought you were going to be, or
Yeah,
more,
you're smart
you're
and all
smarter
that.
than I thought you'd be, or you're stronger mentally than I thought you'd be, and where he starts showing her in his Hannibal Lecter way some respect.
Hmm. I think he treats her with more respect than the other men in the film. So I believe that they're doing an autopsy basically on one of the bodies, and the I isn't this first time that they show them actually doing an autopsy? Is this where they find the death's head moth,
Yeah,
Jay?
I think so. In the mouth and the throat, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and the makeup they did on that body is so accurate, and so you know.
Mm-hmm. So the decomposition of the body is so bad that they're having to put something underneath their nostrils to keep them from getting sick. Yeah, so we're seeing a close up of the hand. Um, and like Jay said, the decomposition they're showing on the corpse and all of that is very accurate. So they're looking in the mouth now, and they're taking pictures inside there. And Clarice says she's got something in her throat. And they're trying to brush it off as well. Maybe it's leaves or something like that because they fished her out of the water. So now they're taking the tweezers and going back in the throat.
And I remember when they take that out, that she makes that sound.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that's actually a living person that that's in makeup. That's
Right.
doing a good job of playing a dead body.
So here is actually this is a cocoon or something. Yeah, a bug cocoon as they call it. But they said there's no way it could get that far down in there unless somebody shoved it down in there.
You haven't said anything about my new glasses, Dana.
Oh, Jay, I'm so sorry.
I'm
they
heartbroken. No, I'm
they
kidding.
do
I'm
look
kidding.
very good. They look very good though.
I'm
They
kidding.
do. Do you
I like
like them?
I like them, although it's weird, and I'm only noticing it when I look at the television. There's kind of like a real, the middle of it's a lot darker than the sides.
Uh huh.
But if I look at the like you look at the computer or anything else, I don't see that. Only when I look at television. That's weird. Um, and maybe it's the way it's made, to be where your center of vision is going to be darker, I guess, or or have more of the whatever it is, that's going to protect your eyes. But I like the circular lenses.
They look cool. Jay, they just showed the scene that you were talking about where she's getting on her superior and telling him, yes, it does matter. Those cops see how you treat me,
Yeah,
and they think that that's how they're supposed to treat me. And
yeah.
he finally says, point taken. Because he noticed, he said, when I said to the officers that we shouldn't talk in front of a woman, he said, that really burned you, didn't it? So he knew that he was kind of doing something that he shouldn't, but he did it anyway.
Well, I got it pulled up on the Kindle here. So what's your timestamp?
My timestamp is about 47 minutes and 45 seconds.
Uh,
She's talking to the what do they call those bug specialists, etymologists? So they're cutting open the bug cocoon, and all this stuff is oozing out. So this Dr. Pilcher, I think he's got a thing for Clarice here, just the way he's, looking at her and trying to make conversation with her. So here's the death's head moth, and I'm sorry, but this is just the coolest thing ever. I would like to see one of these moths in person. But they only live in Asia, so I don't think I'm gonna, according to this movie, they only live in Asia, so probably not gonna get to see one. So we're at Buffalo Bill's house now, and we're seeing he has some of these death's head moths, and the girl is, calling out from the well, and we're seeing all these mannequins, and we're seeing a naked Buffalo Bill. And the poor woman screaming for help. But we didn't get to say, we're not up to the big scene, the big reveal with Buffalo Bill just yet.
you do some tucking.
Yeah, definitely.
I've done the tuck before. You get bored living alone, and you know
You just want to see what
Exactly. Yeah. Well,
like.
after seeing the movie, it's okay. I'll go try the tuck. I've done the tuck. You know. Oh.
So I get the feeling that this young woman, Catherine, who's now in Buffalo Bill's well in his house, I think that they think it's a political thing because her mother is in the political arena and she's basically on television saying, please let my daughter go and all of that. But we know that's not what Buffalo Bill is wanting. He's not wanting any ransom money. He's wanting her skin, literally. And we're gonna see another famous scene where he wants her to put lotion on her skin because he's wanting her to take care of that skin.
Puts the lotion on his skin, or else it gets the hose again.
Exactly.
I like it when she gets a hold of his dog.
Yeah. And she wouldn't really hurt that dog, but he doesn't necessarily know that.
What's your timestamp again?
Timestamp is 52 minutes and 44 seconds. She's having another visit with Lecter. So she's pretty much trying to make a deal with Lecter at this point. That he'll kind of get a little vacation from his little cell there. He can swim in the ocean and do stuff like that under SWAT team surveillance, but he'll get to swim in the ocean. So she's basically bribing him to tell her what she needs to know about Buffalo Bill. Because in case you missed it, Hannibal Lecter was once a psychiatrist.
Yeah, I like the TV show. I'm sorry it didn't last longer than.
Yeah, me too. I liked it as well. Quid pro quo. That's why I told everybody that was going to come into play. You tell me something and I'll tell you something, basically. So he's wanting to know what her worst childhood memory is. And that, of course, is the death of her father. But keep in mind, earlier in the movie, she was told, don't tell Lecter anything personal about yourself.
Did you get my money okay, or did you get a message?
Yeah, yeah, I got a notification from both you and Kathy through Stripe.com that let me know that, yeah, I should receive a payout in about 7 days. It'll go to my bank account. Now, that's only because these were my first two sales. I expect that the payout will probably be quicker the more I do. Um,
Well,
but
like I say, be sure to take good pictures of both of them, and you can use them as examples, for your,
yeah,
you
that's
know.
exactly right.
Are you gonna? You did what 3 commercials yesterday? You need to do one for the Booga Bears. Do a commercial.
Yes, I do. And I've got some ideas, and I've been talking over some things with Candace. Um, and she gave me some very good ideas. So I'm shortly going to be incorporating all of that into an actual commercial for them.
Uh, I could do a portion too, but I'd rather have the bear to show.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, hopefully, I will get yours and Kathy's bear shipped out by no later than Tuesday of this coming
Yeah.
week.
Whenever I get it, I'll do. I'll. You would help me maybe if you have any ideas of what I could say or do. I was thinking I could be buck ass naked and have the bear in front of my groin. It saved me from some embarrassing, moments. The Booga Bear, but I don't know if I want to go that far or not.
Well, that would be up to you, Jay. I mean, I don't want you to feel uncomfortable or
Oh,
anything.
I don't feel uncomfortable. I'm in my damn underwear here. I don't, me. I'm not uncomfortable, but as far as something to be shown to the public, uh,
Well, I think we'd be okay as long as nothing was peeking out, so to
yeah,
speak,
yeah.
or anything like that.
I'd make sure of that before I send it to you. Maybe get Kathy to do something with hers.
Yeah, that would be great. And I'd be willing to wait until y'all got some clips together before I made the commercial. Because I think that would probably go a long way towards maybe selling more of them.
Well,
If
that's what I
people
was thinking. That you show examples of your bears. Show completed products uh, and also emphasize that it could just be anything you would want, just pretty much anything. As long as it's legal and it pornographic, but
Mhm.
pretty much anything you would want to have on the shirt. Be a
Right.
movie or it could be anything.
Here we are where he says it rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again. Because, like I said, he's got to keep that skin in good condition because of
Yeah,
what
yeah.
he's wanting to do with it. Can't have any dry skin or anything like that.
Oh, got to keep it supple. Yeah,
Yeah, I could even put good old Buffalo Bill on one of these Booga Booga Bear shirts and have him singing that. He could have the lotion and everything. So she's upsetting him, talking about she wants to see her mommy and stuff, and he just finally he's like, "Put the fucking lotion in the basket," He's that's the thing about Ted Levine. Most of the stuff that he's in, he always looks like he's about to cry. But now he's doing what I like to call the Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing. When Marilyn Burns is at the dinner table, and they're making fun of her. He's doing that. He's mocking
she's
half
screaming.
of it. Yeah.
Hannibal Lecter with that
With
face
that,
thing.
yeah, he's got the metal. It looks like some kind of wire one.
Yeah.
I hate this doctor or this head of the asylum. He's so sleazy. So we're seeing that pen. Very, very, they're zooming in. They're zooming the hell out of that pen.
He's going to use that pen.
Yeah, it's
I think, didn't this win like Best Picture?
it may have.
I think when didn't Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins win Oscars? I can't look it up because I'm using the thing to
It says
watch the movie.
the Silence of the Lambs swept the Academy Awards: Best Picture, Director, Screenplay, Actress, and Actor.
Yeah, so
So
they
it pretty much won everything that year. And there's Roger Corman. Not there, but the guy that they were showing before that was Roger Corman. And I told you guys and gals that this movie is a longer movie for me to do a watch along for, but we're already over an hour into the film. So it goes fast, and I think that's another testament to how good of a film that it is. Because if it was a bad film, we would be sitting here, oh my God, and I probably would try not to pick a movie like that for a watch along. Batman, you say, was there any explanation on how Hannibal gets the pen? I can't recall. Jay, do you recall?
I don't even. That's a good question.
Mm.
He's just really clever.
I think maybe they may have left it ambiguous on purpose. Blitzel says this serial killer is brought to you by Jergens Lotion. That's right. That would be an idea for another fake commercial. Buffalo Bill lotion.
That could be the tagline. It puts the lotion on its skin.
Yep.
And calling her it, so we won't have any kind of connection with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's just a thing. She's just skin.
Blissful said that would be great if I made a fake commercial for Buffalo Bill's lotion. I may just do that. That'll be a fun thing for me to do. I can do so many different things with AI now. AI has become my best friend lately.
Now be careful of that now. How many movies have there been where AI has taken over and
Yeah, but basically what I'm using it for now is just to change my voice or to enhance a picture or something like that. I'm not going full on AI where I get what Jay's saying. We don't want to get too into that
well, you're
AI.
already changing your voice, and then what else is it going to take from you?
Yeah, it might take over and change.
Already changing your voice. That's the first step, Dana.
It'll change my sex,
Yeah.
and I'll be a man on here instead of a woman. Jay will be like, "What in the hell happened here?" Love your suit. That the lines he says to the senator, who's the mother of Catherine. So here is yet another man trying to take credit for all of Clarice's work.
I remember I saw this in the theater when it came out, and I remember being taken by the graphic, really graphic nature of it.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a horror movie, uh, kind of wrapped up in a drama, you know, but I think it leans more towards a horror film.
Yeah.
And some really graphic moments, which is kind of surprising for, I guess you would call a mainstream film at the time.
Yeah, and the fact that it did so well.
Yeah, and also it's sweeping the Oscars, like you say, something so graphic and so violent, swept the Oscars.
That doesn't happen. Once in a blue moon, it will happen, but not often.
But people like Jodie Foster taking part in it, who was already had a pretty good reputation as an actress already.
Anthony Hopkins as
Anthony
well.
Hopkins, yeah,
Mhm.
And the director.
Jonathan Demme. And I said this earlier on before you came on, Jay. I said that even though the subject matter is very dark for this film, it's beautifully shot.
Yeah, very. Who's the is it
The
Roger Deakins?
cinematographer. Mm,
Who's the cinematographer?
that's what I'm trying to
Isn't
figure
Roger Deakins? Is it?
out. No, it's Tak Fujimoto,
Huh.
who he's very good as well. So she's having another visit with Lecter. This is his white t-shirt phase, I
Yeah.
guess. So he's giving her anagrams. So you have to really pay attention to everything that Lecter says, because there's a little bit of truth in everything he says, no matter how crazy it may seem.
I don't know what he says it to, but I just remember. I remember the line. No, that is incidental.
Yeah,
I forget what that was toward. What
yeah, but I
was.
do remember the line though.
No, that is incidental.
Oh, he just said it. She said he kills women, and she says he kills women. He said, no, that is incidental.
Yeah, okay. Just the way he said that, I just remember that always stuck in my head the way he says it. And I always liked Jodie Foster's accent in this movie.
I do
Where
too.
was she supposed to be from? And she's got a very kind of southern accent. Um,
I'm because when it starts out, she is in Virginia, but she's doing her FBI training and stuff like that. I'm trying to remember where exactly they said she was from. So now he's wanting more personal stuff from her. Why did she run away from? I want to say it was her aunt and uncle's ranch. They raised her because her father died when she was 10.
we're going to kind of get the title of the film in that story.
Yeah. He said you went to live with cousins on a sheep and horse ranch in Montana. So I'm guessing Montana would be essentially where she was from. So he's saying you had a dream about something. She said she heard a strange noise. He says, what was it?
Ooh.
And she said it was screaming. Some kind of screaming like a child's voice. And she went downstairs and she went outside.
Ooh.
This is so gruesome, though. She crept up to the barn house. She was scared to look in there, but she had to. And he says, well, what did you see? Lambs. They were screaming because the spring lambs were being slaughtered. And it was at that point that she ran away from the ranch.
Both my parents grew up in East Texas, and they had pigs, and they had sheep, and they had chickens, and come particularly close to winter time, it'd be slaughtering time.
Yeah.
Killing the pigs.
Yeah, my dad grew up on a farm, and he told me some stuff, and I was like, Dad, please don't tell me anymore.
Well, I watched the guy tie up a goat to a tree, watched him shoot it in the head, kill it, hung it upside down by the whatever these things are, this part of your leg, your ankle or whatever. Put sticks through this, and hung the goat upside down, and then slit it down the middle and gutted it and all that. I watched that whole process. Watched him kill the goat and watched him slaughter the goat.
This whole scene though almost makes me cry every time I see it, because she talks about she tried to free the lambs and they were confused and wouldn't go. They wouldn't leave. And she tried to take her lamb. She picked it up and tried to carry it and run away with it, and it was too heavy. And the rancher got so angry that they sent her away to an orphanage. And he says, and what happened to your lamb, Clarice? And she said, they killed him. And she still wakes up hearing the lamb screaming. But that's just such a, even if it's just a story within this movie, that kind of slaughtering really happens. And that just is what just hurts me so bad.
Yep, but we still like bacon, and
Unfortunately.
And
I like lamb too.
lamb and hamburger meat and chicken and but yeah, we got to realize in order to get that food, these animals are killed, they're slaughtered.
Yeah, and my mom was just telling me about 2 lambs that her and my dad have right now. Mom said, they're so cute, Dana. They're black and white. And I'm like, oh, Mom, please.
Oh, man. Well, I told the story about my father, and there was a guy back when he ran the marina down there, and it was a basket of rabbits, little bunny rabbits. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that's a memory I'll keep to my grave, or take to my grave. Taking them bunnies out one by the neck and slamming their heads down on this wooden table and knocking them out, and then cutting them in. Well, I'm sorry, Dan.
But, no, that's okay.
But it was, oh goodness. Yeah.
I'm having a little trouble with my disc here. It keeps wanting to pause for some reason.
I couldn't have been more than 6, 7 years old watching this happen. My mom, I think my mama came out and huddled me back in the store. You don't need to be watching that, Jay.
So hopefully this will quit pausing on me. I don't know if it's the player or what, but I'm at the part now. I had to skip ahead a little bit, Jay. So I'm about an hour and 15 minutes in. And
well, she's still talking to Hannibal. I don't have subtitles. Is there subtitles? I don't think there is subtitles.
I don't know why this thing keeps pausing here.
Oh.
Making me upset. I may have to turn it over on Daily Motion to keep
Now the
watching.
cops are coming up, and they're gonna wrangle
So
Clarice.
yeah, well, maybe we'll get synced up the way this keeps pausing.
Yeah. Well, anyway, they're taking Clarice out, and
And he's got her case file, doesn't he?
he's got that case file. Yeah, so we're synced up now. And he touched her hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one and only time he actually touches her, which is a big no-no. Don't you know?
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, they've already told her that.
But having that connection, that kind of soft, touch of the fingers, like, I see that as him kind of saying, "I'm on your side."
Right,
I'm,
exactly.
I'm about to kill some people, but I'm not going to kill you.
Yeah, because this is going to be a pretty gruesome scene coming up.
You're safe. I'll keep you safe.
So we're going to see the reappearance of the pen here shortly, too.
What's he got? What's he? That looks pretty good, actually.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? No, he's got that in his mouth.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. It's a part of the pen, isn't it? The
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Where he's able to get out because they're going to have him slide down and they're going to put the cuffs on him. And that pen's going to come into play to free him, basically.
yeah. See that his hand there.
Yeah. Oh, Hannibal Lecter's pretty crafty. We'll say that. And all they're gonna do is bring him his food. Damn.
I would have slid it through a slot or something. I wouldn't have gone in there. So
Yeah, I guess they thought they were safe because they had him handcuffed.
yeah, well, they should have known it's Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, exactly. These
Yeah.
guys ain't too smart. And they're doing something else they shouldn't do, turning their back on him.
Yeah.
Should never turn your back on anybody like that has
I
that
want some
history.
pictures up.
There, uh-oh. Now, that guy's gonna get his face bitten off.
Bit his bites a big chunk out of his face. On him, bite his cheek. Is it his cheek he's biting?
And yeah, and then he sprays him with some mace.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now he's gonna use the nightstick on him.
That look of glee on his face.
Oh yeah.
He starts smiling and just that he's in ecstasy.
And then the blood splattering on the plate of food, and that's what I mean. This thing is so dark and gruesome, but it's so beautifully shot.
Yeah, the way it's filmed.
And the music playing.
Then doing it.
And he's like he's orchestrating something,
Blood on his mouth. Yeah, like you say, it's really filmed really good. And he's so leisure.
Yeah. He's like, I don't have to get in no hurry here.
No hurry. He just,
And he's going to take that knife too, I guess.
but he's taking it slow. He just,
He's doing the Michael Myers and Jason thing. He's just,
taking his time.
and he got all these damn cops out there. And they, they weren't able to keep this from happening.
I tell you, the other thing really good that Jonathan Demme did was direct the Talking Head concert hit film, Stop Making Sense.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. I was a big fan of Talking Heads anyway. So, but that's one of the best concert films ever made.
I'll have to watch that. I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's really catchy. Even if you never have been a big Talking Heads fan, I think you would really like the movie. But as far as concert films, when you hear, a list of the best concert films, that's always on the list is Stop Making Sense.
Now, Sean's in here. He says, I like this movie a lot, but it's behind Manhunter and even Red Dragon for me, which is interesting. I don't hear too many people say that.
Yeah, Red Dragon. I think I put Red Dragon above Hannibal in my own personal preference. I like Hannibal, but
that's a great shot too. Sorry to interrupt you, Jay, but where he's basically crucified on the
hung up on the
outside.
bars.
So Sean goes on to say that the connection between Will Graham and Hannibal is a lot more interesting to him, but Jodie Foster is great.
Oh yeah.
And that other guy is still alive. Even after, the guy on the ground, not the guy that's hung up. But
yeah, I'm on commercials for DirecTV. No, not DirecTV. Disney Plus. So.
Lovely.
What do you having in commercials? What do you? What's your timestamp?
Timestamp is 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 3 seconds. They're trying to get a IV into the officer that's still alive. He's basically going into some kind of seizure.
Well, tell me when you see when he shoots the guy in the leg.
Okay.
Let's see if he's alive.
So I like this twist coming up here too. This twist is kind of horror movie specific, I'll just say.
Well, where are you at now?
the cops are all standing around. They think that Lecter's on, I think, the second floor. And they've all got their guns pointed at the elevator. And they're sending somebody with a mirror to check.
What's the timestamp on you?
Timestamp now is hour 23 minutes 56 seconds.
Oh.
So it appears that this is Lecter, but okay, so he's getting ready to shoot. He just shot him in the leg now.
Okay. Well, tell me when you see when they're in the elevator.
Um, so they're running into the elevator now. And they got a ladder. He's going to open that latch up. And I think the twist is getting ready to come up because they're in the ambulance now. Supposedly with Officer Penbury. But
Speaking of skin,
it's not Officer Penbury. It's Lecter. That made me say you just seen a post of a dessert called slutty cheesecake bars.
sounds good.
I was gonna say I bet Jay will like that.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm kind of intrigued by that myself.
Well, that reminds me. Like I say, there used to be a. I've mentioned this before. There used to be a burger joint in Waco called Fat Hole Burgers, but they made them close it because of the name. I never been. They were supposed to be really good, but yeah, Fat Hole
They
Burgers.
didn't even try to get them to maybe change the name.
I don't know. That's a good question. Well, I don't know if they actually may have done that, changed the name instead of closing down.
Blissful says she needs to find the recipe for the slutty cheesecake bars.
Well, you're not cooking tomorrow or next Sunday, but do you know what you're going to cook next time?
I don't know. I'll try to figure something out before tomorrow when I do the watch along. That way I can kind of give y'all a heads up.
I'll be thinking, because you got the book that's got recipes in it, but I like you coming up with your own stuff,
Yeah, and I will tell you this, Jay. The prom night cake that I did has had, I believe it's had the most views of any of my movie munchies.
Well, it's one of the most delicious looking the things that you've cooked.
It was delicious.
I could
did
tell
make it
Hush up.
myself.
Yeah. Even the glass you said was good, huh?
Yeah, tasted like cotton candy to me. Oh, Blissful just made some lemon blueberry muffins.
Oh, hush up, you girls.
We're gonna kill Jay.
My goodness. Man, with some, hot with some butter. Oh, my goodness.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So we're getting down to basically a little over 20 minutes, the final 20 minutes of the film, where she's going to get really close to Buffalo Bill. And
which we found out his name is Jane Gum.
Yeah.
His real name, Jane
Yep.
Gum.
What a name.
Or is it Jane Gum?
I don't know. Did they call him James or Jamie? Let's see. I guess we'll.
I want to say it's Jane Gum.
Hmm.
Gum, though, that last name, Gum.
Yeah, Gum.
And what I want to know is, how does he pay for his house? How does he pay his bills? What does he do?
Yeah, I don't know. I know he's got to do something because he has a pretty. When they finally do show his house, he does have a very sizable house. I'm not saying it looks great, but you still got to heat and air condition a house like that, and it looks like it's cold. So I would assume he would be heating it. But right now, she's at the house of one of the victims, one of Buffalo Bill's earlier victims, and she's looking around the girl's room and everything.
Are the Dead Pit guys at the convention now?
I believe they're both there now. I think it was my understanding that Uncle Bill was going to come in today, and that CK and his wife were already there, that they came up Friday evening.
Are they staying at the actual hotel or somewhere else?
It's my understanding they got an Airbnb that they're going to be staying at.
I like the little kitty cat.
Mm-hmm. So Clarice is finding some pictures in the jewelry box. So evidently this girl had a secret life, because there's some pictures of her in her. She's not naked, but her bra and panties, basically. But Jay, why you were talking about, what was I going to do for the next movie Munchies? Although I'm not doing this for a movie Munchies, I am doing this for Easter Sunday to take to my mom and dad's. What I'm going to be making is a Critters Easter cake.
Huh.
And anybody that has seen Critters 2 knows there's an Easter theme to that film. And so what I'm going to be doing is making a cake like I did for the prom night cake. It's going to be a white cake like that. But I'm going to put some icing dyed green where it looks like grass on the top of the cake. Then I'm going to hop on over to the Homicidal Homemaker site, and she's got these chocolate peanut butter eggs that look like the eggs that the critters hatch out of on Critters 2. And she shows you how to make those. So I'm going to put some of those on the cake, probably a couple of them. And then to top the topper is I'm going to get this mold that looks similar to a critter in shape and stuff. And I'm going to actually take white chocolate and melt it in a double boiler. I'm going to put it in this mold and let it set up in the mold. Then I'm going to take the mold out and put icing on it to make it look like the hair, like the critter.
Huh.
And so I'm going to have an actual critter on the cake.
And you're actually taking it to your parents' house.
Yeah. I already told Mom, I said, I'm going to be bringing a critters cake to your house.
And had they seen critters?
Mom wasn't real familiar with it, but I tried to describe what these critters look like and stuff like that. And she said, "Oh, okay."
Be sure to take some good pictures of it.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely take some pictures. And so we're back to Catherine now, who's looking a little worse for wear now. What she's trying to do is lure Buffalo Bill's dog to the well. Precious is the dog's name. It's a cute little dog. I believe that's a Bashan Freeze dog. And we're also getting ready to see the big Buffalo Bill moment.
The
believe. Yeah, the tuck.
Got some tattoos. Love. Interesting.
And there's another interesting one that looks like cuts with blood drips or something like that, or barbed wire, something like that.
Oh, goodness.
And there's the nipple piercing. Ugh. That looks so painful. So here's the goodbye horses, as Batman was talking about. I just wonder how Ted Levine felt about doing this.
Well, that's always the most fun to play is crazy people.
Yeah.
But he looks like he's really into it. So
there was the tuck.
some more Disney Plus commercials.
Now that you guys have been traumatized for life by seeing that, we're back to.
Well, after what you've seen me do, you've almost seen the tuck from me. Seen everything else. Tattoo sleeves.
I think Jay's got the idea. They look better on the legs, I think.
Yeah. Well, getting the Buffalo Bill doing all he's doing, I'm kind of, I'm inspired to do something, creative or whatever. So, there you go. There you go.
Yep, I like it. It's a new look for you, Jay.
What is this? Roses. And what is this one? I don't know what that is. I guess it's flowers or something. So there you go.
So good old Buffalo Bill is helping one of the moths come out of its cocoon.
What's your timestamp? Because I had a commercial. So.
Timestamp is 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 45 seconds. So Buffalo Bill's upset because Catherine's got his dog now. He's wanting her to put the dog in the bucket. And she said, "You get me a telephone right now." And she's, of course, saying, "Your dog's hurt, mister. She needs a vet. She broke her leg."
Okay, when Jodie Foster's talking to Jane Gum, let me know.
Okay. So we're soon going to find out, though, that the rest of the FBI people are supposed to be at the same area that Jodie Foster is, and she ends up kind of having to go it alone because they're at the wrong damn place.
She talking to him yet?
Not yet. They got the guy posing as a flower delivery guy. So we thought that the FBI agents were closing in on him, and nope. Jodie Foster's there by herself. Now she's talking to good old Gum here. Yeah, Crawford, you dumbass. Clarice is there by herself with the serial killer. Because y'all fucked up. That's what y'all did.
Well, say like I said, at this point, she doesn't know yet that she's
right
with the guy.
And this is where he says, "Was she a big fat person?"
She's a big fat person.
So he's kind of feeling Clarice out here, trying to figure out how much she knows. So Clarice is looking around while, Buffalo Bill's preoccupied.
She sees that moth and
she sees that moth laying on the thread there.
She figures it out then, I think.
And I think she saw the lotion too. And being, as smart as she is, she probably is suspicious of that.
And it's like she uncovers her guns, like, that letting her know that she's got a gun.
But it appears he's got a gun too, because we see one laying on the stove. So he kind of appeared to comply a little bit, and then he takes off running, basically. So. I like the way though that this movie never makes Clarice look foolish at any point in time, even when the men aren't taking her seriously and all that. The movie itself never makes her look like she's less than an important piece and all.
Well, and it's kind of the point of the character is her sort of proving her mettle, so to speak, or proving how strong she is, and how smart she is. Disney Plus again.
Oh, damn it! Right here,
Right on the climax.
yeah.
We're getting that night vision business, that night vision goggles.
Mhm.
Shots were always really, really good.
Well, when you need a timestamp again, let me know, Jay. And
Okay. These commercials are pretty long. I've already got the Disney bundle, which
quit trying to show that to me.
I've already got it. There's Taylor Swift. I can watch Taylor Swift, Dana, on Disney Plus.
Oh, that's nice. You can tell I'm not a big fan of Taylor Swift.
If you played a Taylor Swift song right now, I could not tell you it's Taylor Swift. I could not tell you one song that girl has sung. I think she's a good singer, all right. I just don't care for the music.
Is Taylor Swift the one that everybody keeps going crazy over? Well, not everybody.
You know, like that concert film was like made like $1 billion or something. The one they're pimping now.
I'd rather watch the one you were talking about than watch Taylor Swift.
Yeah, Stop Making Sense. Look that up. It might be streaming somewhere, but it's really good. Like I say, you know, even if you never was a big fan of Talking Heads, I think you would still like it. It's really catchy and really well done. But I was always a big Talking Heads fan.
So now Clarice has found Catherine, and Catherine's like, "Don't you leave me here. This guy's fucking crazy."
And he is.
But I think that's already been established very early on. But Clarice has already told Catherine to shut up and keep that dog quiet.
I mean, where'd you get the money to buy the night vision goggles, you know?
Yeah.
He's got to feed the dog. Where's the man get his money?
So now the lights have went out, but he's got the night vision goggles on.
I can imagine those things were pretty expensive back then.
I would say so. So she can't see her hand in front of her face, but he can see everything quite clearly. And to me, this would be absolutely terrifying to virtually be blind and not be able to see your hand in front of your face, but the person that you're, don't want to be around specifically or you want to kill is right next to you with night vision goggles on so they can see everything. I think this is a very tense and terrifying scene here. Because especially if you're watching it for the first time, be like, well, is she going to make it out of here? Is she not?
She just goes by sound, the
Mm.
way she reacts.
Blair's asking us a question, Jay. He says, if you could play one villain in a movie, who would it be?
The Joker. Yeah, I always wanted to play the Joker, do the Joker, dress up like the Joker, and get in the makeup.
I'd like to be Freddy Krueger. Because you'd get to, I'd say Jason or Michael Myers or something, but you get to talk.
You get to say
That's
funny lines and one-liners and cool makeup stuff.
So she just shot Buffalo Bill. Now the lights are back on.
But no, the Joker always seemed like they'd be the most fun to play as far as a villain.
That's some good blood they got on him. Yeah, Crawford, how you feel about Clarice now? She did all y'all's work for you, stupid man. No offense, Jay, but
No. And in
these
this movie,
men in this movie are stupid.
I want a piece of that damn cake.
Yeah. So she's graduating now, and she's got her official FBI badge.
And she's going to get a call from Hannibal,
Yes.
who's on vacation.
Is he in Italy or where is he exactly? Jay may be slightly ahead of me now because I just got.
Well, they said, it just shook her hand. It's got that close up of their hand shaking. I don't know if you're there yet. I got another damn Disney Plus, and there's Taylor Swift again. Damn it! So,
Damn it,
but it's
Taylor.
pretty much the end of the movie anyway. So, Hannibal's
Yeah. So to finish it out, she's talking to Crawford. We saw that delicious cake that Jay said he wanted a piece of. I'd like to have a piece of it too, actually. But yeah, now here's the close up of their hands.
handshake.
Mm-hmm. And he says, "Don't forget your phone call."
What do you think the handshake means? Kind of a reserved acceptance of her?
Yeah, that's what I think. So she says, "Where are you, Dr. Lecter?" He said, "I have no plans to call on you, Clarice. The world's more interesting with you in it. So you take care now to extend me the same courtesy."
I'm having a friend for dinner or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that the line?
Yeah, I'm having an old friend for dinner. And he says, "Bye."
Because we skipped over one of the best lines is I ate his liver with the nice Chianti and some fava beans, and nice
And
Chianti.
then he goes,
Yeah.
great line. Yeah, we did unfortunately miss that.
Fava beans. Have you ever had fava beans?
I have not.
Where can you get fava beans?
I don't know. Does anybody know where we can get some fava beans? I'd love to get some because
I like beans. I bought 3 cans of black beans today. I like black beans. With
No, he's not in Italy. He must be in some maybe Jamaica or something. Or I don't know. Blair's asking, have you guys ever accidentally watched two different movies on here? Now, as far as doing a watch along, I don't think that me and Jay have, or me and whoever might have been on here for a watch along with me. That would be funny if we did. But there was something kind of similar that happened. Me and Jay both told Kathy that she needed to watch When a Stranger Calls. And she ended up watching some totally different movie, and she was telling us stuff. I don't understand what happened at the end. And we
we
were
didn't
like,
get the
what?
ending and all that. I said, "Well, the ending's pretty straightforward. I don't see what would be confusing about the ending." So yeah, she watched the. I don't even know what she watched.
Yeah,
Is,
I'm not sure what
is
the
she
movie.
here? Are you she here tonight?
She was earlier.
What did you watch, Kathy? Whenever you see this,
Liz, will you say it looks like Lecter's in Portugal? He might be. There's a lot of uh, appears to be, I hope I won't get in trouble for saying black people, but it appears to be a lot of black people or African
I
Americans.
don't say there's any problem with that. That's what they are. They're black people. Ooh.
I see Carl Fullerton did some of the makeup effects. He did stuff for one of the maybe Friday 13th Part 2. So I hope you guys and gals have enjoyed. For those of you that were watching along with me and Jay tonight, that you enjoyed watching the movie. If this was your first time watching it, I hope you really enjoyed it. However, I will say it's probably not a good idea for your first watch to be in a watch along
Uh,
with me and anybody else, because we might give away key plot points, and especially me, and may ruin the whole entire movie for you.
these
So,
glasses are very reflective.
but they do look really good though, Jay. And I'm sorry that I
I
just
like them. Yeah, the lady was really nice. You know, they refurbished the Walmart in Bahia, so I can't find nothing. I don't know where nothing's at because they changed everything. Everything's in a different position. They completely remodeled the store. It looks nice, but I can't find nothing. You know, so I finally got what I needed to get today. I did grocery shopping today, but anyway, I stopped over by the eye center first, and they completely remodeled that place. It looks really nice. Um, but anyway, when she took out the shade, she goes, "Hey, you got kind of a John Lennon thing going here." I said, and she actually said that. I said, "Yeah, I always wanted some round because usually I get square lenses, and the regular glasses I got are square. You know, regular. They look like the old glasses pretty much, except they're not all scratched up the hell." um, but I wanted for the shades. I wanted something round, you know, or rounder.
right, exactly. Yeah, I think they look really good, and I'm glad that you like them too.
Yeah. Like I say, it's weird though, just looking at the TV though, is that right in the middle it gets real dark, almost black. But when I'm looking at like right here, looking at the computer screen, it doesn't do that. Only
Are
looking at the
those
computer.
are those transitional ones, Jay?
They're not transitional, they're polarized.
Oh,
Because she asked me, "Do you want polarized?" I go, "Is that a good thing?" She goes, "Well, yeah, it's supposed to be more, you know, I guess I don't know if there's a darker shade or whatever polarized is." I said, "Yeah, go ahead." It wasn't too much more for a polarized. I said, "Yeah, go ahead, give me polarized."
Blissful says she likes them, Jay, and she also said this was a great live we did. So,
Yeah, well, I kind of hemmed and hawed about whether I was going to join you or not because I mean all I had was just that thing that you sent me that Daily Motion, and I thought,
mhm.
well, but I was able to sync it up pretty good through most of it. You know,
Yeah,
once I finally started it, you know.
And once those commercials like
Yeah, the damn Taylor Swift, Disney Plus. Get the bundle,
Taylor,
get the bundle. I've got the bundle, asshole. Leave me alone.
Taylor Swift was trying to invade our watch along, I think.
Taylor Swift, my goodness. And like I say, I mean, I guess if you're a fan of Taylor Swift, good for you. I think she can sing. I just don't like her music. I just don't. There's nothing
Right,
about it.
yeah. There are a lot of people like that for me that they sing just fine, but I'm just not a fan of their music.
Yeah.
And when
Who's
people,
the damn football player that she's?
oh yeah, I forgot his
Yeah.
name.
But anyway, they were on the Super Bowl and they won the Super Bowl, and of course she was cheering for them and all that, all excited because they won the Super Bowl and showed them hugging each other and all that, celebration. Taylor Swift, but yeah, she's a big deal. She's everyone's into Taylor Swift except for me, apparently.
And me.
Yeah.
Thank you, Super Batman Nerd. He says, great live, eat those thumbs up, which goes along with the
Well,
candle.
what kind of crowd did you have tonight? Because they're all at the convention and stuff.
Once we got started, we still had a pretty good crowd. It was about 8 or 9 at the highest, I think, unless I missed some, which I think's really good for a lot of the crowd. At least the crowd around close where this convention is more than likely at the convention hanging
Well,
out.
who else? Who else? Can you name just a few names that are at the convention besides the Ramey brothers and
And William Cat.
William Pat?
George Went's gonna be there because he was
Cool.
on House with
Yeah,
William Cat.
I always was a big fan of and of course
Actually,
um,
let I can give you a rundown on it. Just give me 1 second here. I don't care to do that.
he'd be cool to meet though, George Wink.
hmm So let me look. Henry Rollins is gonna be there too.
I've got a couple of Henry Rollins CDs. I liked his earlier stuff, And what was the group he was in? What was the group he was in? Someone chime in. Who
We
was
need
Henry Rollins?
DJ on here.
There was a group he was in, and I'm trying to think what the group was that he was in. But I liked his early stuff, Henry Rollins.
Of course, Eli Roth. Let us not forget Eli Roth. Juliette Lewis.
Cool.
Ryder Strong. Kevin Nash. Mick Foley, for you wrestling fans. Virginia Gardner from Halloween 2018, Fall, The Righteous Gemstones, Marvel's Runaways, The Goldbergs, and Monster Party. Paul Walter Hauser, Blackbird, Cobra Kai, Richard Jewell, Cruella, Songbird. Yeah. Patricia Velasquez. I'm probably massacring that name. From The Mummy, The Curse of La Lorna, Malignant, something called Satanic Hispanics. Joel David Moore from Hatchet, Dodgeball, The Guest, Shark Night, Avatar, Grandma's Boy. Adam Green, Kane Hodder, Natasha Henstridge, Freddie Rodriguez. They're having the Blair Witch Project crew: Heather Donahue, Joshua Leonard, Michael Williams, and Eduardo Sanchez. Because it's the 25th anniversary of the Blair Witch Project.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton. And Bruce Abbott, Ken Foray. I'm trying to name off the more well known one. Jordan Ladd, Serena Vincent, James DeBello, James Jude Courtney. That Rowan Campbell that played Corey in Halloween Ends. Ugh. I have absolutely no interest. Robert Longstreet, of course, Ivan and Ted Raimi, along with Sam Raimi. Lydia Jewett and Olivia O'Neill, both from The Exorcist Believer. I'm not interested. George Wendt and William Catt. Samara Lee. Zach Galligan.
Ah,
Samantha Mathis. Brian Yuzna. Charles Band. And Richard Band. Lloyd Kaufman. Yeah, that's a lot of the big ones.
I went to I think with Mark, we went to, I think it was in Dallas,
Uh-huh.
and we went to a screening, and I forget what the screening was, but they had a little Q&A afterwards, and Brian Yuzma was part of the Q&A. So I've seen him in person, Brian Yuzma.
And sorry, guys and gals, Nick Carter, he had to cancel because he's sick. Justina Machado canceled due to work. And Jane Levy from Evil Dead canceled, of which I don't care that she canceled.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry Nick Carter's sick, but I wasn't interested in meeting him anyway, so. But let's see. Blizzle says this lady I follow flips thrift finds. She sold a Taylor Swift cardigan for $300. She paid $1
Wow.
for it. But
Well,
but
how do you prove something like this that it came from Taylor Swift? You know?
I don't know if if a COA, certificate of authenticity, do it. I mean, I don't know. Steve laughs at me because many moons ago, before me and Steve even knew each other, I bought, what would you call them? It was back when Ted Raimi was supposed to have been on Xena playing Joxer. And there were these armbands or whatever up that he wore on his upper arms. And I got those off of eBay, and they weren't cheap, but they weren't outrageously expensive. But they had a COA with them that said that they were screen worn. But Steve says, "Yeah, how do we know, Dana?" I said, "I don't know. That's the thing." But Blizzle says Henry Rollins was in Black Flag. That's the
Black Flag. There you go. Black Flag. Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's who she said she loved too, Henry Rollins. So I wish that all of you guys and gals that like some of these people I mentioned could be at the convention, so I could, hang out with you, talk to you.
Have you got a meeting time with the Dead Pit guys, or a place you're going to meet?
Well, not really. I think it's going to be catch as catch can kind of thing. You're going to go there, and hopefully, it being a Sunday, it'll be thinned out a little bit, so we'll be able to all find each other. Because I did want to hang out with them for a little bit. Wanted to hang out with Candace and Chris for a little bit, and I told Steve, I said we should go to lunch with Candace and Chris because I don't know what all the Dead Pit boys are going to be doing. It might be harder to get together with them for lunch. Blissel says that there's markings that you look for on these objects. She says she's never had to do it. And she says, Nick Carter, I'm bummed. I may never recover with the laughing emoji. Really, I hope he isn't seriously ill or anything like that. I didn't have any interest in meeting him, but I'm sure some people were disappointed that were interested in meeting him. For that, I feel bad. Um, but I figure if Jay wants to stay on here for about 4 more minutes until 9:30, we can do that. But I am really going to have to run to the restroom because I drank this whole energy drink while I was sitting here. But I'll be right back. I'll let Jay keep y'all entertained for a little bit.
Well, this is my favorite time of year. That's not blistering hot like it is in Texas in the summertime, where we have 100-degree weather 2 or 3 months in a row, just every day, at least 100 degrees, which is typical. But right now it's in the 70s, it's like the mid 60s and low 70s. Supposed to rain tomorrow. I think Monday morning, I think it's supposed to rain. But other than that, I think it's supposed to be pretty clear for most of the week, most of next week. But yeah, pretty and warm, but not too hot, not too cold, just right in the middle. And you just get maybe a couple of weeks of that in Texas, just what you would call perfect weather, if you're lucky. It's usually two something or two of the other, too hot or too cold. And so right now we're in that transitional period it's my favorite time of year. And when we change the time, I know a lot of people don't, some of you guys don't like the time change because you lose an hour of sleep and it messes up with your sleep pattern and all that. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother my sleep pattern because I don't have a job. So, I don't feel like I'm losing an hour of sleep, but I like the long days. I like to be able to take a long walk, 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening when the sun's going down, it's not bearing down on you. And they have this country road here that I go walk on. And so, yeah, this is just my favorite time of year. But you just get maybe a couple of weeks of just what you call just perfect weather, and then it gets too hot.
Right. I think, speaking of favorite times of the year, fall is my favorite time of the year.
I like fall, but we don't have a good fall.
Right. Yeah.
It usually just gets cold. It doesn't. You don't have that transitional time where it's just real hot. Then maybe once again, you might have a couple of weeks where it starts to cool off some, and it's not too cold, not too hot. But yeah, then it gets cold, and gets dreary and gets cloudy.
Mhm.
The the weather in Texas is, yeah.
Kind of unpredictable, isn't it, Jay?
I like it, very predictable. Particularly the summertime is very predictable. It gets hot. It gets, and and no kidding around hot. Where
Right.
there may be a couple of days during the summer it might be 115, 116 degrees.
Well, I told about the time that me and Steve, and we'll never do this again because one thing, we're too damn old to do this. But back when we were dating, we decided to make a trip to Texas and we went down to Austin, Texas. But we did 3 different things that same week. So before we went to Texas, we went to Scarefest. And this was late in September, okay? Probably about the last week or so, or maybe the next to last week of September that we went. And so we went to Scarefest in Lexington, Kentucky. It was cold. Then we went to Texas, and you step off the plane in
It just
Texas,
hits you in the face.
it was just like, woo,
Yeah.
like this heat wave hit. And so we decided very foolishly to walk around Austin, Texas before we got smart and decided to, ride the bus or do something like that. And we walked all over in Austin and, walked over to the Mondo Tea Shop and the Big Alamo Draft House that's over there by the Mondo Tea Shop. They're almost like right next door to each other. That was a mistake for Steve, mainly because I was fine. I'm not so sure I could do that now, but back then, over 10 years ago, then man, that just blows my mind. Over 10 years ago. But I could do it then. I was in my 30s and I felt better. I just felt better and had more energy. That was prior to COVID and all kinds of other things. But anyway, um, so when we flew back from Texas, then we went to Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, or actually Strongsville, Ohio, which is just outside of Cleveland, for the Cinema Wasteland Convention. Guess what? It was back in the cold again. Maybe not necessarily the deep freeze. So we went from Lexington to Texas to Ohio.
One extreme to the other, and then back
Yeah,
again.
exactly. It's a thousand wonders we didn't get sick, but I don't recall either one of us getting sick. But we were wiped out after we finished up our last trip, the last leg of this enormous trip that we went on, where we basically were in 3 different states. We were in Kentucky, then we were in Texas, and then we were in Ohio. So, yes, we basically decided we're not going to do that anymore. Blissful says, I love spring, but autumn and winter I love. I like spring too really well because it sort of makes me feel better. I'm a person that's prone to seasonal depression. Like in the winter time, even though
Yeah, and then that's what I was going to say. I honestly, if I'm going to be honest, I don't like the winter. I do not like the winter. I don't like when you change the time back again. There's short days. They're usually cloudy, and it's cold. And yeah, I get that too. Good on living here by myself.
Yeah.
I'm lonely anyway, but then if it's cold and overcast and all that, that just adds to it. And I don't really like the cold.
Now, Jay, you want to
I
watch
don't like winter.
saying you're lonely because that'll make me want to message you more and bug y'all.
Well, go ahead. You mess me all you want to. But but yeah, I just don't like winter. I don't like the cold, and I don't like the way winters are in Texas, where usually it's overcast, usually it's cloudy, on top of being cold. If it would be cold but sunny,
It would be better.
it'd be a
Yeah.
lot better because I can go outside and it can be 30, 40 degrees, but if it's sunny, I feel good. The sun actually,
Yeah.
affects my emotions.
It
If I
does
go
mine too.
if I go out and it's cloudy and overcast and cold, I'm literally depressed. But if I go out and the sun is shining, but it's still cold, I feel good. I can handle the cold. It isn't the cold so much. It used to be the cold used to really bother me, and I couldn't stand the cold. But after putting a little more meat on my bones, I can handle the cold better. Um, but yeah, the cloudy, that just depresses me.
See, I don't like rainy stuff either. Like Steve claims he loves rain, but that makes me depressed too.
No, I don't like the rain. And when we get to be, we're heading into that area, severe weather season.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Unfortunately.
April, May, June, kind of mid July.
Yeah.
You get a lot of severe storms, tornadoes and all that crap, and having to duck those things and worry about that. And so yeah.
Yeah, April in Kentucky at least, and the states surrounding Kentucky, April tends to be a dangerous month sometimes. Sometimes March can be. Since the things have gotten all messed up with weather patterns and stuff like that. Even we don't even escape that. Used to in the wintertime it would get damn cold. So you wouldn't have to worry about things like tornadoes because there was no heat to feed them. now in the last several years, we've had 70-degree temps in December sometimes. And guess what? Those old tornadoes get fired up. And, we've had decimating things happen. A few years back, we had tornadoes early in like the second week of December
Mm.
or something like that. And that was the tornadoes that were some big suckers, and they destroyed that candle factory, killed a bunch of people in Kentucky. I think it was in Maysville, Kentucky. My dad and my uncle Scotty were actually outrunning that damn tornado
Mm.
because they were at a sale and they had to, I believe they had to stop the sale early because they heard that there was bad weather headed that way. And I'm glad I didn't know about it. Mom told me after the fact, after the storm was already over and everything. She said, your dad and your Uncle Scotty was out running that thing. I said, oh my gosh, what in the world? And I don't know if they could see the funnel, but they were actually trying to outrun that storm. I said, if it had caught up with them, it probably would have killed them because it would have went, and tossed the vehicle, God knows where. Those things ain't nothing to mess around with.
No.
So I know some people like to chase storms and chase tornadoes, and I say leave that to the professionals. So
Right.
let's not let us regular Janes and Joes go out there and
Like
I want
Twister.
to take the funnel.
There's a sequel to Twister coming out. Is it already out? I don't think it's out yet. Sequel
Oh,
to
I
Twister.
didn't know that.
So, and I like Twister. I like the original Twister.
I did like it, and I saw Twister at the movie theater. Imagine seeing that big.
I think I might have saw it in the theater
Oh
also. I think
wow!
yeah.
Yeah. Me being as scared of storms and tornadoes as I am, I probably didn't need to see
And of
that.
course, the flying cows were, that's a big
Yeah.
in Twister. That flying cow. um,
But anyway, guys and gals, I would love to stay on here longer, but 7 o'clock's going to come really early in the morning. And
well, you have a lot of fun and take lots of pictures, and I don't think I have grace in my heart, so I don't.
you're
I
not going
don't.
to be joining me for Grace in My Heart,
Yeah,
Jay.
well, if it's streaming somewhere, maybe.
I'll try to see if I can
Yeah.
find it streaming
Yeah,
somewhere for you,
but
Jay.
anxious to hear your report from the convention and how it went, and hope you do everything you want to do and meet all the people you want to meet, and
And see all the gang that I want to
yeah.
see.
What kind of stuff are you looking to buy? Like T-shirts?
Yeah, I want to. Terror Threads is going to be there, and I've never bought a T-shirt from Terror Threads, but evidently they have some really cool Felissa Rose sleepaway camp shirts, and I would love to get my hands on some of those. So I'm definitely going to stop by their table, and then I think all the big boutique labels as far as movies are going to be there. I guess Vinegar Syndrome, Severin, um, I guess Synapse, all the big ones, all the ones that you hear about. And I'm waiting for my damn Vinegar Syndrome order. Oh, and Steve let me know that TerraVision Records was going to be there, and I said, would it be wrong to go up to them and ask them what the heck happened with Rocktober Blood? Why they never put that out? Thank you, Blissful. I'm hoping that I do have a great time tomorrow, and y'all pray for me. Pray for me. For those of you that do pray, um, pray that Steve feels good tomorrow because I don't want him to be a grumpy ass. I love him, but I don't want him to feel bad and be grumpy and blame it on me because I wanted to go and get my picture taken with the Ramey brothers and all that stuff. Um, yes, Sean. I to answer that question, I have done pay in for with. I've done it with different sites. Are you referring to like t-shirt companies or movie companies, because I've done the paying for with Fright Rags. I bought several shirts and did the paying for. Movie companies like Vinegar Syndrome and Severin. I've done the paying fors. Blissful, you say, tell him he won't have to eat bacon tomorrow. Somehow, I don't know if that would help, but yeah, I'll be sure to tell him, Blissful.
Have some dry cereal.
Have some dry cereal. Okay, well, guys and gals, me and Jay are going to skedaddle on out of here.
Thumbs up now. How many people are in this room? There should be at least that many thumbs up on the
Yes, you
the
heard it
counter
from
there.
Jay. And when we get off of here, I'm going to play us out with the Midday with Dana and Jay commercial that I made last night. So you guys enjoy. And I'll be back with a report from Horror Hound Weekend tomorrow night before the watch along.
Good night, Dana. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Jay. And good night, chat. And thank everybody that could stop by for something by. And thank you, Jay, for joining me tonight.
I had fun.
I did too, as always. So we'll see everybody next time. Hello, my name is Dana, and I am one half of the Midday with Dana and Jay team. I'm pretty much the straight man or straight woman. But here's Jay. He's more fun than I am.
Why did Mickey Mouse divorce Minnie Mouse? 'Cause she's fucking goofy. Find out things like that and more on Midday with Dana and Jay, 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central. I might get naked. Hell, I'll probably get naked. Don't you miss it.